Hey y'all, Austin here with Outer World Media. Welcome back to another video, guys. Hope you guys are staying safe. Hope you guys are enjoying the holiday season as it's about to be. If not, it's already in full swing, guys. But again, hope you guys are staying safe and whatnot. If this is your first time finding the channel, welcome. If it's not and you've been watching for a little bit, you probably noticed the background has changed yet again. And there is a good reason for it this time. Me and my wife, we are expecting our first child within the next few months. So we're trying to get ahead of the game and whatnot and just rearrange them. The home office, or my home office, I should say, I'm now sharing it with the newest edition whenever they come. So I had to condense it down a little bit, which is not a bad thing. Again, I'm not complaining. I'm super excited for what's to come. But again, had to shrink it down a little bit. But if you notice, I do have a shelf back there still with books. The rest of them are packed up and whatnot. But again, guys, let's get into it. This is the channel goals for 2025. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I know having a child is going to affect not only my reading schedule, but my ability to just come in here and spend an hour or two recording videos and whatnot. So again, I'm hoping it's not going to affect the channel a lot, but I know it will a little bit. So I'm going to forewarn you guys on that ahead of time. But again, getting into it. What are the big updates for 2025? The biggest one, I'm not going to be doing a set amount of books that I want to read for the year. I've thought about it and I've been kicking the idea back and forth on it, and I've come to terms with the fact that I don't want to have a set amount of books and then not be able to reach it by the end of the year. I'm not one of those that has to be perfect about everything, but if I set a goal, I really want to accomplish it and reach it. Sorry guys, my allergies are acting up. But again, so I'm not going to do a set amount of books, which also leads to I'm not going to be doing a set TBR each month. What I mean by that, though, is yes, I'm going to have the Wagon Train books on deck every month until we finish the read along. But I am going to be doing a reading forecast. I've seen Faceless as well as Hide and Read do this. And for those of you who don't know what a reading forecast is, it's essentially saying, hey, I have these 4 books. This is kind of going to be the reading forecast, what I expect. And then if I'm not able to read all the books, or if I'm not able to read one because my mood changes and I'm a mood reader and I want to read this, I'm not going to feel bad about it. But I do have some goals that I would like to accomplish in the year of 2025 on the channel. To be honest with you guys, I'm not one to say I want to reach this many subscribers. I'm here just to talk to you guys about books. I enjoy everybody I get to talk to. Doesn't matter if I have 1 subscriber or a million. Don't matter to me, to be honest with you guys. But like I said, I do have other goals that I want to accomplish for the year, or that I would like to continue on. Starting off with, I plan on continuing on with the Longmire series. Ideally, I would like to try to finish it. I know that there's already a new book coming out next May, so I need to try and catch up. I think I have 5 or 6 books to go until I'm caught up in the series. So I plan on trying to continue on with that series. Again, I absolutely enjoy the Longmire series. I really, really do. It is one of my favorite series. Next, I'm going to continue on, like I said, with the Wagon Train. We are full swing ahead. We are making headway in that series. I'm really enjoying it. I'm also enjoying getting to talk with, everybody about those books and whatnot. I'm always excited to post my reviews of the books and whatnot. Just kind of get Louis L'Amour's name and books out there for hopefully more people to want to pick them up. Next, I plan on continuing on with the Dirk Pitt series. This is a series I've read the first 2 books, and what I will say about it so far, it has scratched an itch that I didn't realize I had, guys. I really have enjoyed the series so far, so I just plan on continuing on with that series in 2025. The big goal, though, for the year, and I've debated on this. I put a tab on the community, or a poll, I should say, on the community tab and whatnot. And I appreciate everybody that responded on there, and that was honest. I really appreciate it. I've realized that there are some people out there that aren't Lord of the Rings fans. But I want to do a deep dive into Middle Earth. I really do. I absolutely love everything Lord of the Rings. So I want to try to reread The Hobbit. The trilogy. Read some some deep dive stuff into Middle Earth by J.R.R. Tolkien. For example, the nature of Middle Earth. The fall of Numenor, the Silmarillion, which I'm not gonna lie, is very daunting. Just stuff like that. Just try to get a little bit more into the lore of Middle Earth. So that's kind of the big four four goals that I have for the year. In all honesty, again, some of those, the Dirk Pitt, the Longmire, Wagon Train books, they're not anything that's too dense, so I'm not worried about that. But I do have 10 books that I absolutely want to try and read in the year of 2025. Kicking it off, we're going to talk about, and I'm going to show you guys this here real quick. We're going to kick it off with The Killer Angels by Michael Shara, however you want to say it. This is a recommendation by Dustin Neely. I will say I highly, highly, appreciate, Dustin's kind words on the channel. He's been very nice to me here as of lately. He put something on his channel talking about some of his favorite channels, and he had this channel listed. So, and I really do appreciate every kind word that Dustin has said. And when he recommends a book to me, I always put it on the list of books that I need to read. I take his opinion very seriously, so he had The Killer Angels. He had nothing but great things to say about this. So I'm going to put that on there, as well as a couple books that he read. And these are the specific ones that he read, and that is The Odyssey and the Iliad by Homer. Again, I think these covers look awesome. I'm not going to lie, guys. But these, I believe, are told in like a normal story format. So I figured, if Dustin had nothing but good things to say about these books, I'm going to put him on my TBR. So I need to try and get to those this upcoming year. Next is it's a nonfiction book that I remember as a kid, my dad was telling me about it, and I had never gotten around to trying to read it. I really enjoyed the movie, but that is Flags of Our Fathers. I want to try to read more nonfiction in 2025, but Flags of Our Fathers specifically, I want to try and read this. I think this is one that I'm really going to enjoy. I think Dustin even made a comment one time talking about how he enjoyed this book, if I'm not mistaken. But again, I want to try to read Flags of Our Fathers and whatnot. Next, some other books that I want to try to read. I don't have physical copies with me, and I want to try and this is going to be a reread, so I'm not sure if I'll get to it, but I would really like to, and that is I want to try to reread Lonesome Dove by Larry McMurtry. I really, really enjoyed reading it a couple years ago. Last year I read it, and I really enjoyed it. So I think I might try to throw that on the TBR. If anybody's out there and interested in doing a fellowship read or whatnot, maybe if we can get a few of us together, do a book club or something, however you want to say it, maybe do that. Again, I really want to reread Lonesome Dove. That is one of those books that I think sticks with you, and after I finish it, it was easily up on my top 5 favorite books of all time. Next, some other books I want to read. I want to read The Walking Drum by Louis L'Amour. That's one of the L'Amour's bigger books that I have not read yet, as far as how long of a book, as well as one of his more well-known books. I have not read The Walking Drum. I also want to read The Haunted Mesa by Louis L'Amour. That's another one of those books that when you think of Louis L'Amour, you think of The Haunted Mesa. And that's one, again, I want to read. I really do. I want to try and reread The Last of the Breed by Louis L'Amour. It's been years since I've read it. I don't think I've read it since, I was probably in elementary school when I read that book the last time, if I'm being honest with you guys. So I need to reread that. I want to get some Zane Grey under my belt, some more Zane Grey. And so I want to try to read The Great Trek, which is like a Western down in Australia, I believe. It kind of, when I read the description, made me think a little bit of like, Quigley Down Under with Tom Selleck. And as well as The Rainbow Trail, the follow-up to The Riders of the Purple Sage. That's one of those books that I want to try and read, as well as I want to try and reread The Riders of the Purple Sage. I read the uncut, uncensored edition, and I don't know why, but that's just a book. I think about it constantly. It'll just pop in my mind, and I'll think about it. And so I think that's another one of those books that are going to be, stick with me for as long as I live. So I want to try and reread that. Probably just try to reread the read the normal edition, not the uncut, uncensored edition. See what the difference is there. So super excited for that. Gonna get into that as well as any advanced reader's copies that I get for books. For example, I have received a couple, and I have them on the schedule for next year already, trying to get that figured out and whatnot. But again, guys, like I said, that's just kind of the update for the channel, just stuff that I want to try to accomplish in 2025 and whatnot, and wanted to let you guys be aware of it. If there's anybody out there that wants to do like a fellowship read or something like that, let me know. Be more than happy to do that with you guys. If there's any of the books that I just mentioned that you'd be interested in reading with me, let me know. Again, I'd be more than happy to try to accommodate as much as I can and read with you guys and work it into the schedule whenever would be best for you guys. As always, I do appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by. I can't wait for 2025 to see, what happens with the channel. Just all the great conversations we're going to have, maybe learn, find out some new books that are interested to me or interesting that I want to read and whatnot. But again, guys, I do appreciate it. Thank you. Y'all have a good one.